Hola peoples! One of the Facebook groups that I follow had a monthly challenge. They don't do it anymore, but they used to just give some type of prompt or theme and you could just go for it. I had never participated in any type of challenge before, but I thought, it might be fun. And I actually thought up an idea to go with their theme. Plus, I had just recently acquired some new art supplies and I thought, hey, you could try all of these out. So the theme was hanging hearts, and the group is an art journaling group aimed at worship through art. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. So I found a scripture and came up with the idea of the desires of your heart being placed into your heart, but also the desires were these precious gems and with pearls of wisdom. Yeah, imagination gets you going. Anyway, so I sketched my idea and inked it digitally like I do. However, pretty much everything else I used was either a new art medium, paper, tool, etc. So the paper I used was the Strathmore acrylic linen finish. It's a 246-pound heavyweight paper for acrylic paint. I purchased it with the purpose of being able to ink digitally and then print on it. This paper went through my printer with no problems. I mean, it worked really, really well. Or maybe that's more on my printer than the paper. I don't know, but it went through my printer, which was nice. In the end, also this piece had a lot of weight to it and the paper carried it really well. I tried to record the video where you could see all the supplies that I was using. The background, I used the Faber-castell Gelatos. Now you've already seen me use these in some of my previous videos and I've talked about them already. But this was actually my first time using them. I'm all out of order on these videos. The Faber-castell set is the metallic colors. That was all I could find locally at the time. And as I've said before, their shine factor is off the charts. On the big heart, I used a set of watercolor crayons by Recollections. These have like a little shimmer to them, but it dulls some as you add water. I purchased these because like I said, I couldn't find any standard colors of the gelatos, and I thought they were essentially the same, just a different brand name, but they ended up creating a completely different effect. I loved the way that the heart came out, and the watercolor crayons look just so very painterly to me, They just weren't what I was expecting at all. And I'll be honest with you, when I got started with the gelatos and the watercolor crayons, I thought this thing was looking like poop. I mean, I was like, oh my Lord, what have I done? But, I have definitely learned not to stop. You have to see where things will take you sometimes. Even though the gelatos and the watercolor crayons have different effects, I've learned for me the way you use them is the same. First, you have to build up the colors. It takes layers to get them to look nice and smooth, and I don't know, to get this maybe the particular look that I like, you have to layer them. And I am probably using them in a way that's contrary to their original intent. I'm not sure. But I found you have to work them. But the results are so unique. For me, I end up with something that I would not be able to achieve with acrylic paint. Secondly, I've seen some videos where artists will break off a little piece and mix with water to create a more liquid color to use. That didn't work for me at all. I mean, it thinned out the color so much and was just so watery. Maybe if I was more abreast with working with watercolors, it would have been better, but so for larger areas, I just used the tube itself and then brushed out the color. But if I'm doing a smaller, more detailed area, it's better for me to take water in the brush and mix right on top of the tube. It takes a little bit more time, but it doesn't thin the color. It isn't as watery, and you just get a much stronger pigment in there. For some of the blending, I used this sponge tool by Folk Art that I found at Walmart. I just stumbled upon it walking through their craft aisle. It has such a large sponge. I picked it up, and it worked okay. You can see it in the background. It's got that black handle on it. Like I said, it worked okay, but I don't think it's a necessity. I mostly ended up just using the brush for the blending. I used acrylic paint for the pearls, but it was a set of Liquitex Iridescent soft body paint that I found on clearance at Michael's. And I'm not sure why I used gold first. I don't know. I've slept since then. I can't remember what my thought process was, but at the time. But I remember, like, it's got this sort of, it still has this sort of 3D effect to the pearls. It's not like rounded or anything, but there's some dimension there. I had originally planned to use the watercolor crayons for the smaller hearts, but the red color wasn't a true enough red for me, so I ended up using regular acrylic paint for that. Now, I got this oil-based Sharpie paint pen, and I used that for the writing. It was fine on top of the regular acrylic paint, but on top of the watercolor crayons, nope. Okay, look, learn from me here. It completely ruined the Sharpie pen. I had to throw it away. It was garbage. The tip got clogged, I guess, and it just oozed out the sides. It was nasty. So now it may be that the watercolor crayons needed to have been sealed first. You can seal them, and the gelatos, you can seal them with gel medium, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried it to see if that would have worked. Lastly, I used Faber-Castell's Glass Bead Glitter Gel Medium. It's a big title. I used that on top of the hearts. I picked this up along with some other Faber-Castell mediums from the clearance spot at Michael's as well. You can see the shine and the effect of the glitter and the little beads, but I will say I don't think there's a difference between the Faber-Castell glass bead medium and like Liquitex version, and I think Liquitex might be more cost effective if you're not finding it on clearance, of course. So in the end, I'm like so about this artwork. I loved it except for the writing on the big heart that like ruined it for me. Like you can't really, like you could tell in the video, I wasn't able to write as big for all the trouble I was having, so it's all off center, and then you didn't get a really clear view, but it was just, the ink is just chunky, from where it was just, it just doesn't look good and just bothered me. So, like I said, that ruined it for me. And I could probably try to go over it, like cover it and try again with something else, but I didn't feel like it. And plus I was running out of time for the challenge, which I did end up still submitting it, and I won, so hey. But yeah, you guys, so anyway, that's about it. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them below. We all live to learn. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.